So talking about my new fat bike, basically a little bit of adjustments on what I've done with it. You see it's actually a standard charge bike maxi, but what I've changed on it is like a few interesting things. First thing is I changed the brakes. I put hydraulics instead of the mechanical. I've changed the grips to make it some nice ergo grips. I've taped it because I like more protection and also I like the darker coloring. Saddle, definitely a difference for the touring. Brook saddle, very famous as the leather saddles. I'm still breaking it in, but it's way more comfortable on the long ride. And just to be clear, I'm not using it as a downhill mountain bike at the moment, but more like as a touring countryside bike to ride around. As you see, a big Blackburn holder for the bottles or for the stuff, which I'm finding very good for the future, for like a touring longer days. Combination of the wheels, so classic fat tires, 4-inch, and the difference is, as you see, massive fat bike, fast, heavy duty, and on the front I've mounted 29 ER or your 700cc or like the big mountain bike tires basically. And that's one thing I want to tell you about, because when I was thinking of doing that conversion, I could not find much information. Yes, for me, beautiful combination. Yeah. I think the bike looks actually very smart with the thicker and thinner wheel, but also it rides really well. It's a little bit lighter, but a lot quieter on the front. How it looks? Well, that's the difference. There's a bit more space here, not so much smaller. If you had a comparison between the 26 with the flat tire or 29 with the mountain bike tires, I'm using actually, you can see here, a Schwalbe and Smart Sam, and I'm using 2.25 tires, so almost half of it, but for the mountain bikes it's actually reasonably wide. But together with the 29 ER wheels, they create actually the same and a little bit higher height than the classic fat bikes. So on the side is very slim, you see, like it looks like a massive fork, but from the side here, yeah, it looks actually like a perfectly sized wheel. The other thing is, and so if you want to have a look, what did I use? Got the disc brake. Yeah, so the disc brake on the wheel, and that's just the classic 180. Then the hydraulic brakes, and this, as you see from the screw, is a mountain bike wheel, but the rear wheel. So it's 135mm wheel, which is a standard for the mountain bikes, road bikes or anything, but I wanted mountain bike rim, of course, and that's pretty much easy swap. The fit, right in the middle, yeah. The quality of ride, really good, yeah. I'm sure there will be lots of bike technician and mechanics and so on saying, oh, there are like differences in the ride and in the tension and the spokes. Well, think about it as DIY. The main thing I came across when I was mounting the wheel was, took it in, put it in there, fit perfectly. This brake completely not aligned. So that was another step I had to take, and I had to get some spacers here. I'm using actually on this specific wheel with that setup 4.5mm spacer, which is like two spacers. One is 2mm and one is 2.5, which was the exact thickness I needed to actually perfectly fit. But apart from that, you know, like this is standard wheel with the standard 29 tire tube, and it's actually lighter, but it's not ultra light because I'm not using any carbon wheels or anything, but significantly smaller in the way of handling. But also when you're riding it, you don't feel that massive, you know, like wheel on the front, you feel a lot more maneuverability on the road. It's a lot quieter and it actually sits really well. Similar thing is actually like off-road. Yeah, I'm not talking about really like some big downhills or so on. I haven't really done much on that, but on like general riding, countryside roads, you know, like grass or anything, very good feel. When you're riding it, it's kind of looking as a combination, yeah, so especially people from the front think that you are riding like really big bike, but you don't have that fat tire aspect. You know, that's something which comes when you pass them or later. Technically, when I'm riding, like as a commute at the moment, a little bit more like to test it as a timing and as the maybe touring ability. I've noticed that on my 10 kilometers journey, I make almost 5 minutes shorter ride than on my classic standard 700cc, so same style wheel, but thin city bike. It might be because of the momentum, because of the riding on the big wheels here, and you know, like it's really smooth. It might be because I'm pushing harder, because I sit, you know, like higher on it, and you feel more or less like riding a monster truck or riding, you know, like in the Jeep. That's compared to the like cars. You see when I get on it, that the difference on the height is that I really need the seat quite higher, and it makes me sit, you know, like tall and, you know, like a lot above the ground. If you had your classic, say, riding bike or like a race bike, yeah, you would be sitting somewhere down here. Yeah. So that's really like a big difference in the posture. Yeah. So that's my new toy. Yeah. I'll show you a little bit more on the wheel comparisons later. And thank you for watching.